Get it on.
Yeah, Costas, let's wait, Doug, did you get to see that mediator negotiate for? Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were there yesterday.
Oh, for sure.
Try getting one out of Costas. See if you can I've been thinking about some of his moves. Yeah, those calibrated questions.
Yeah.
And even he felt so bad taking all that.
See how I do.
Yeah. Costas, you've seen the coffee shop scenario.
Okay, yes, of course. I know it.
Okay, Doug is he's gonna approach your coffee shop counter.
No problem. Just call me Costa, please.
Oh yeah, I keep messing that up. Bad memory.
It's
Doug.
Kostas, but it's a crazy Greek grammar because you call me Costa. So
I'm from the Midwest, you know. I can't pronounce the word the. I got a B in college on a class on pronunciation. Yeah, I might keep messing it up. If it triggers you, I'll issue you a nice formal apology. Douglas he writes beautiful letters.
Yes.
So pardon.
Dear Indugu.
Doug, can you take your headphones off? I want to talk to him about some black swans.
Mm-hmm.
Keep things more interesting. Okay, Costa. What do you think some good black swans would be that he can uncover?
Oh,
maybe I'm thinking maybe you're the actual owner, or maybe you're the owner's son. I don't know, something black swan, something he has to uncover.
Owner's son who doesn't want to be there because he prefers to play
video games.
Video games. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. All right. That's one black swan. Any other ones? Maybe. Do you like being there or not?
That's why I told you I don't.
Oh, you don't like being there. Okay, that's one. Maybe the other one is. Are you paid enough?
What?
Do they pay you enough?
No, I'm not paid. That's
okay, that could be another black swan.
I'm forced to go there, and mainly I don't want to because of the.
So, why are you wanting to work there? Like, why are you there? Because you love your father and you respect your father.
My mother will be whining.
Ah, good. Yeah, that's good. All right. Let me if we can tell Doug. All right, Doug, there's some black beans in there. I'll tell you that.
Okay. And we're back.
And that's a coin term from James. That's a good one. There are some things to uncover. Aliman, Jonathan, fine gentlemen, how's it going?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Great. So we're gonna see Douglas practice with Costa. He's we watched yesterday a professional mediator for divorces. And he did okay the first time, felt lots of butterflies. Second time he went again and did amazing. Got the free cup of coffee, got even a cappuccino and a pastry. He said he felt so bad. So let's see. Doug was there to witness. Douglas was there to witness. So let's. He will be the negotiator, and Costa is just a regular person, just a regular dude.
Good morning. How are you?
Hello. Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you. Hey, has it been busy this morning?
No, it's quiet. Thank God, it's quiet.
Been sounds like a bit of a respite from a busy time there.
It's usually a quiet day for now. later it goes a little crazy.
Gets
Thank
busier later.
Thank God my turn is only now for more for 2 hours more.
I see. I see. Do you how long have you worked here? I'm sorry, I'm just fascinated by how long you've worked here.
Actually, I don't. I come here to help.
Just helping out?
Yes, dad's business, you know.
Oh, sure. Is it a friend of the family that you're helping out, or?
No, dad's business. It's my dad's.
Oh, your father's. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. A family business. That's awesome.
Mm.
How long have you guys had the shop?
Oh, it has this at least 20 years,
20
maybe more.
years.
Mm.
That's outstanding.
Yes, yes, yes.
Sometimes a little more than you'd like to chew off, I'm sure. Keep you biting off more than you can chew sometimes, I guess, when it gets a little crazy at times.
I usually don't come here when times are crazy. I just help from time to time, you know.
Sure.
Uh,
Well,
Have
do you
to
mind
come.
sharing? What do you do normally?
I work as a clerk, but
Oh,
it is Saturday, and so
give you a chance to come in and hang out with Dad's shop here.
not exactly. I'm not very enthusiastic with the job. So, but you know, I just have to come, and I do my best.
Oh, I see. So it's kind of like you feel obligated.
I am obligated. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, I see. Have other things you'd rather be doing on a Saturday?
Of course, of course. There is an event in War Commander this Saturday. Of course.
What would you rather be doing normally?
This is an event. This weekend is an event on War Commander, which is my game, a video game.
What kind of game is it? I'm sorry.
It's an online game.
Oh, online game.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
So
And
I am here losing time because I would be there at winning the enemies and take bonuses and so on.
I see. Are you really good at it?
I want to go, but I can't. So I have to survive.
Yeah. The game, is it I'm fascinated by gaming. Did you are you really good at the game? Is it a lot of fun, or?
I am a mediocre player. I play there for years, but I'm not that clever. But I keep with it. You know, I can keep it. I play with it again and again and again.
It sounds like you're pretty
yeah.
persistent.
Yes. I'm very persistent.
I see.
It's so painful not to play because the time I lose it will be needed. You know?
Oh, okay. So you're kind of, it's like an ongoing thing. So you miss out, you fall behind.
If you fall
Oh, I see.
behind, you will miss some things and so on and so on and so on.
Oh, I see.
I can manage it, I guess. But I have repressed. Maybe I put some coins more to how do you say it? To continue things, to make things continue. If I don't like to pay, but of course, in such cases you have to pay, so
Yeah.
you get some extra time actually.
Ah, I see.
To repair, you pay to repair your tools. Yes. So I don't have to wait. I pay and I repair them, and that will be all. Okay.
And Costa, what's it like when you're doing well in the game? What's it like?
I like it because it's a win thing, you know, a win and lose thing. It's like a war general.
Ah, so you get some good strategy and you get that rush of winning.
Yes. If I get a good strategy, but okay. I'm an okay player, I say. Yes, not a genius, way far from a genius. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you who's far from a genius this morning. You're probably going to think I'm the most biggest space cadet you've met in a long, long time. In fact, you're probably going to think I'm just online, but out of nowhere. You're probably going to think, what in the world is he doing? Costa, I did something goofy today. You will not believe this. I left the house without my wallet.
You do?
I did. I was just like, oh no, I didn't even realize it until I started walking in the door, and I'm like, oh. And it's like 20 minutes from downtown, and I'm so embarrassed.
That's very bad, man.
Yeah.
Very bad.
I really tell you, I am so embarrassed. I really have to ask, Costa, would you be opposed to hooking me up with a free coffee this morning?
Well, I was about to ask you, what can I do? Of course, I will give you a free coffee. Of course.
I sure appreciate that, and really, you're probably going to think I'm really pushy and really aggressive, and tell you. And thank you so much for the free coffee, by the way. That is very generous of you. Would you be opposed to throwing in a breakfast sandwich with that?
I was happy with the coffee, but
Oh, I am actually. I'm sorry for being so greedy. I just will sure take that free coffee, no problem.
okay. I can put a little biscuit inside, or maybe 2 biscuits.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. I sure appreciate it. Thank you so much. You've made my morning.
Yes,
And
I'm happy.
And I hope you get to play some computer games maybe a little later, maybe.
I hope so also.
Yeah. Time.
Okay.
Well, Danny, Douglas, you uncovered 2 out of 3 black swans.
Wow.
That's great. Do you want to know what the third one was?
Oh, for sure. I'm fascinated.
Mother would punish him if he didn't work there.
Oh,
That's his driver.
right. I could tell
I mean,
he
it
was
didn't.
not super thrilled about being there.
Yeah, like, why are you here?
Didn't get to the exact why of that. I could tell it was some kind of family obligation, but I wasn't. I guess I could have.
So you did get that black
that
swan.
Yeah.
That's shop. Second black swan, he'd rather be gaming.
Yeah.
And well, let's be fair. Did it pay off for gathering those black swans? From the other mocks you've done, this was totally different for you, right? You probably
it
felt
was this
butterflies.
This was more just completely abandoning my ego and really trying to try to stay into the counterparts world, and it was very awkward. But I will say I see why it's so great, because I was able to really pay a lot more attention to Costa's world, and it actually was really inspiring, because it's like, okay, this is what's possible by doing that.
Costa's while you're still fresh. Costa, while you're still fresh.
Yeah.
What were you feeling? I felt towards the end when he was asking for more, I was even feeling nervous. What were you feeling?
Yes, I didn't. It is not easy for me to do it. Something I don't. I felt a little overdoing. I was not sure what to do. to be exact. I was very happy to give to buy him a coffee.
Yeah.
Happy. I was ready to ask him, what can I do for you?
Yeah, yeah. Douglas, you got so nervous. You went for the ass, didn't you? You were like, gosh.
Yeah.
It was like jump rope. I was like, maybe if he waits a little bit. No, and then I even put
Wait a
in
little bit.
chat.
In,
I
out,
put in
in,
chat,
out.
say you lost your wallet. You hate losing.
Yes.
And you didn't go
Yeah.
for the ask. You stayed in there, and I was like, oh boy, and it paid off big time. Feedback from you, Douglas, or anybody in the audience. We can just keep it easy. Go Douglas, James, Eli, Joel. Oh, and Kostas, if you have anything else to add, Jonathan, and if Eugene's able to talk.
Very smooth anyway. Very, very, very smooth.
That was going to be my number one question, Costa. Did I feel like I was being like a woodpecker with my questions, or did they feel more?
No, they were very smooth. But
Good. Good.
something that goes not very good in asking the sandwich.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was I was just like going for the Hail Mary pass there. And
Got 2 biscuits though. Ooh, I'd be happy.
Hey, no risk it, no biscuit, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you got the biscuit.
Got the biscuit.
No
Oh,
biscuits.
2 biscuits. Yeah. What made you throw another biscuit in there?
I thought he may be hungry. And,
He looks like a big boy. He
You
needs
look like a
needs
big-
more biscuits.
He's not doing keto.
That's right. Keto. What's that? No. Keto for the win, by the way.
Oh. James, I know you kind of stumbled in mid negotiation. Any thoughts, any feedback, anything you picked up, body language, master, anything that stuck out to you?
Costa is always interesting to try to guess what his black swans are in the situation. We did one the other day where he was being driven by his mustache telling him what to do. So I'm always kind of curious where
Morty.
the black swans are going to be coming
My
from.
mustache made me do it.
Yeah.
yes.
What'd you think of Doug's tone and body language? Douglas, sorry, god dang it.
How dare
Uh,
you, sir?
I didn't mean to bless me. Sorry.
I definitely feel like he's got the skills down. I think the one thing that I've noticed though is that it still feels a bit scripted.
Oh,
In
yeah.
that like when he's doing it, I don't know, when he and I have had conversations, there is a very natural tone that he has when he's in empathy, but I've noticed when he's using the skills, it feels like a little bit like a script that's happening. But
Well-
I mean, it's almost like he's got the skills on reflex now, which is, I mean, they definitely feel like they're there.
Yeah.
But it feels slightly different than his normal tone.
Well, let me tell you this. I don't mean to expose him out there, but we seen Douglas tap out mid combo. Just say, I'm done. I don't know where this is going. So this was amazing. He stayed in there and got the things. And I'll tell you what, I was nervous before hopping on. So I'm sure that probably has got a factor. This is like public speaking in a sense. And you only do that in weddings, right? This is tough. Eli, any observations from you?
You go on. Just I will tell you more when will be the next
Okay.
role play. So
Joel, anything in chat or maybe want to say Mike?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, perfect.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Joel.
Okay.
I think the beginning of it, I didn't hear Douglas use his name. I just heard him come in and say, hey, hi, and friendly and all.
Mhm.
Is that what I had to disconnect. I'm sorry. I don't know if that's what we're talking about. Any kind of tidbits that we were picking up on?
Yeah,
or-
no, that's an interesting one. I sometimes find myself in the less I give, the better, because maybe I can leverage them knowing my name for something. And I've heard of like top negotiators for the FBI talk about this theory like even if they want a bottle of water, it's not just a bottle of water. Like it becomes a whole thing on its own where 5 people are involved. So yeah, like how much info, and there's some like professional mediators that, yeah, they ask for their name and they say, and my name is this. There's that approach as well. And we welcome, yeah, there's no like set, that it's no framework here that's, you know, do your thing and then we just give some feedback. A lot of it is based on never split the difference. We think they did a good job of aggregating a lot of stuff. So yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
any approach, good observation though.
Yeah, because I think maybe Costas would have been like, oh yeah, I have a old friend named Douglas or something along those lines to maybe trigger something there, or and then he was trying to connect with him as far as like, I live downtown.
Well, I'll tell you
because
I'll tell you something interesting. Somebody once didn't like me because they hated someone named Daniel.
oh yeah,
So it could, you have to be careful what you
All you damn
disclose.
Daniels are the same.
Yeah, and
Hey,
I said, well, he was in the Bible.
for
He
free
spoke the
coffee, I tell
truth.
you.
He spoke the truth.
Plus, in Greece, there are not many people with the name of Douglas, so the chances are very, very low.
Yeah.
Nobody is called
Context, that's
Douglas.
a big thing we're about, your environment and all that. Problem we've had with airline scenario is there's some countries where you get nothing. Like, no hookups
Yeah.
at all.
I did want to point out one thing. The people that are in this group or listening in and went through the whole thing, because it was kind of, we're listening in and saying things in our own heads. But if we're gonna go from start to finish on someone else's conversation, I think that puts everyone in this group leaps and bounds ahead of other people that just want to just cut to the chase and like, oh, just hurry up and ask for the coffee, sort of thing, right? So
Oh, yeah.
I've got to give credit to everyone that's really that hung in there.
Oh yeah. Douglas, at what point did you start feeling those butterflies to just ask?
Yeah, it really did. I was starting to worry about, am I really being annoying by getting so personal without sharing anything toward the end there? And I'm like, okay. So there was an internal clock that said, okay, it's time. Make the ask
Well,
and
I
see how
mean,
you do.
you shine something light on negotiators' importance is learn more about them.
Yeah.
So who did we learn more about in this role play? It's definitely 80% counterpart, 20% negotiator. That's a good ratio.
I
Really.
think so too. I think if you can, and again, my, and this is one of the things that's really been one of my main reasons for doing this over and over again until it changes, is I am an idea freight train. I can't wait to tell you about my opinions and ideas about life. And I can't wait to share them with you. And if you want, I don't know if you know my opinion, wait just 2 seconds and I'll share it with you. So the restraint of, completely shutting that down and divorcing myself from that intellectual arrogance is really like an epiphany. And I'm like, I finally see a way of doing that. And this was really the first time I felt like I ever really truly got close to something like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I'll probably butcher your name. Aliman.
Hi, yeah.
Yeah.
The connection is patchy on my side, so I wasn't able to follow closely.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Is there anything you noticed though? Good, bad, thumbs up, thumbs down?
I'm still really trying to just understand and get used to the format. So I'm following the best I can.
Oh, good. I mean, and just to be clear about this, really technically no format is, sometimes we learn from you, right? So we don't know. We always want to look for the best results here, result driven. And I think so far from all the mocks Douglas has done, this is the best results ever seen. And this was from a private session yesterday with a professional mediator. We kind of combine. Their problem is they don't go for the ask. They get so nervous when it's asking time, and that's where they drop the ball. So
And I
it's
will say,
fascinating to combine.
here's a plug for Pasha. I think having just a little bit of time with
Oh,
Pasha,
yeah. Yeah,
reflective
Pasha.
listening. Oof.
Yeah, that's
Oof.
right. Speaking of Pasha attendees, Jonathan, what'd you think of this?
Oh man, I can only admire Douglas because his rapport is much better than mine. So I liked how the rapport in the beginning it felt like but as you keep talking, you keep going. It unfolded to video games. It unfolded to a family business. It unfolded to so many other things. In the beginning, I thought Costa was gonna get bored, but in the
Yeah.
beginning, it felt kind of cold. But I guess the rapport gets better as you keep it going. And then as Douglas kept the rapport going, it unfolded to so many other things. And Costa was happy to give him the coffee and the 2 biscuits. So great job.
Good.
Thank you.
What you think of his, now you've been to N9, what you think of his use of, did you catch any calibrated questions? I caught accusation audits. I caught lots of dynamic silence. I
Yes.
think those 2 alone caught calibrated question. Now, Douglas, did you mean to purposely use the word online?
Yes.
Online, but out of nowhere. Because I was like,
Yes.
Costa, did you somehow catch that he used the word online?
Yes, yes.
It felt
No,
good,
I
right?
thought
Like he
good.
actually listened.
Yes, and yes.
And my question to you is, were you bored when you were talking about yourself?
No, because I was talking about myself. Nobody is bored when he speaks about himself.
Yeah, it's like you wanted to reward him.
Yes,
that's
I
fascinating.
was thinking that I would be glad to ask what can I do for him. Exactly the time he make the request, I was going to tell me what can I do for you, and he tell me he'd like a coffee. Of course, I would like to give me coffee free.
Nice. Eugene, you got anything to add?
I picked up just a few questions that Douglas was asking. And for me personally, I mean, Costas is different. For me personally, if someone's asking me a lot of questions in a row, that's a red flag for me. Like there's something needed. This guy really needs to know these things. What is this all about? So it would probably not fly with me. I'm not sure. Maybe from the beginning, because I missed it, Douglas built rapport. So those questions would just, kind of be smooth as butter, but catching it out from the middle of conversations, like it felt a little bit like interrogation.
Let's pause there and let's roll to Jonathan and James real quick.
It didn't feel interrogation to me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Douglas, I have a question for you. So what in terms of listening skills, what were you using there to keep the rapport going and going and going?
Really trying to use curiosity. And again, I really appreciate Eugene's counterpoint. And I think this is where I'm trying to get kind of somehow to deal with this problem, because I love questions. And maybe that's it, but I love questions because that's the incisive way to go straight for the target. And I think that the danger is annoying the crap out of someone by pestering them with questions. I don't want to be a pest.
James?
You remember, Daniel, can you elaborate? Remember Lara model? I think that was like 2 labels, 1 question.
Listen, affirm.
Or was
repeat.
it 2 + 1? Yeah, so maybe if you summarize what Costas said and then just feed him another question,
yes,
that would solve your problem.
Yeah, maybe that summary in there would have been good. And it did flash in my mind to do a summary, and then for some reason I
well, I mean, you're already stressing about asking, so we get it. James?
Kind of take a step back from the conversation for a second. I think one of the things that's important to remember is that when we are giving feedback, we're giving it from our own perspective in the shoes of maybe on either one side or the other. So either in Doug's shoes or in Costa's shoes, and how would we feel when we did that? And I think Eugene and I are on the same page that we're both assertives, and those kinds of questions is just red flag of this person wants something. What do they want? But I think for Costa and the way in which Doug was asking, it worked for him. I think one of the things that Doug does just amazingly well, which you can't really see in this conversation, is that he will pivot his approach depending on the person that he's talking to. So if he's talking to an assertive and they are having some resistance to like kind of the questions, he would change his tactic. I've seen him do it before. So I think in that case, it's important to remember that wherever our feedback when we're doing this in these sessions is coming from is generally from our own shoes and not necessarily in the shoes of the person who we are talking about.
Yeah.
Thank you. And one of the things that that I love the most about NLP is maybe not super great useful for negotiation necessarily, but one of the beliefs from NLP that they have, that's like one of the reasons or like one of the core foundations is behavioral flexibility, meaning if something isn't working, how about we try something else? So I tried to be flexible, and again, doesn't always work. But when you're getting feedback in the conversation, you start hitting resistance. That's a signal, and if you can be aware of the signal to go a different direction, I feel like I have picked up that at least some sense of that so far, but still a long way to go. But thank you for that, James. I really appreciate that feedback.
I see you, bro.
I am curious, how was I? Of course, I don't think I
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask Douglas, what personality would you attribute Costa to?
I was picking up somewhat of an analyst vibe, believe it or not. That's kind of more what I was feeling. Definitely not an accommodator, I didn't think. And
Anybody else? What would you say his type of negotiator?
Honestly, I think he switches. Kind of, I feel, I don't know, that at least for me, when I'm watching him, I feel like his key driver kind of affects his natural negotiation skill. Honestly, I feel like whatever he's doing is keeping himself entertained. Like, what's going to be fun for me? And should I be an accommodator or should I be an assertive? And he just seems to kind of flow between the two.
You know
But
what?
the
That's
driver underneath
exactly what I
that
put
seems
in
to be,
chat. Yeah. Yeah, he's right there, right? Accommodating and assertive, like
but
you can.
the driver is really what's keeping him entertained. Is he having fun? And is this fun? And if the accommodator isn't being fun, let's switch to the assertive and do that. But
And
yeah,
I think, you know, he enjoyed talking about himself and assertive. They love talking about themselves and have to make it their idea. And as many know, hey, I'm looking to call some wealthy building owners, and most of them are assertives from what I've been told. So yeah, I got to be cognizant. All right, and assertive, asking labels, calibrated questions. Douglas said, might irritate that assertive. You're asking too many questions, guy. What's going on? What's your intent? Yeah, great feedback. Anybody else? I mean, that was very new, by the way. We had black swans in there, and Douglas was trying a new method that we mixed yesterday. And so, yeah, this was, and frankly, I never picture Costa giving anything at the coffee shop. He's never done it. This is his first time ever giving anything in any scenario.
I felt like it was quite natural too. I didn't feel like it was like any like hide the ball or I'm just gonna be this hardcore negotiator to make it impossible. I felt like that was like, if you do well, I'll give you stuff. If you don't, I won't. And I feel like that's really where I don't know, me personally, I feel like that's what we should try to do, I guess.
Yeah, you know, we don't want the combo to go stale. Unless you truly are repulsed by this person, then, you know, that's a whole
just
different
be natural, right? If you were in the
conversation.
real world and this conversation was pissing you off, then, you know, react how you would react.
Yeah, that's best feedback. Keep it real.
Yeah.
All right, anybody want to step up and either get free coffee, you can get hotel upgrade, or you can get your fair deal on that pawn shop. It's open.
I can
to,
go, but I cannot be on the camera. It's too dark here. Not gonna be
Oh, well,
seen.
we like body language.
Yeah,
so-
so maybe you can speak with me.
You know what? Believe it or not, I catch micro flinches, and when that happens, there's always a shift in the negotiation dynamic. So I like body language.
70% of the conversation.
Yeah,
So,
it is.
yeah. Does that mean if you're not having your video on, you're having an advantage over the people that do?
You truly are, because you're able to focus more on their words, on their listening. So maybe Eugene's trying to cheat.
Or I wouldn't say cheat. He's just trying to have an advantage.
You
Jonathan,
know what
see,
my football coach
I
used
can
to say?
I can be a coach next time.
you gonna be a counterpart or negotiator?
The counterpart.
Okay, counterpart. And does anybody want to? Well, it's hard to find a negotiator and a counterpart. Let's try to find negotiator. Oh, Eugene's got his camera on. That's good enough. That's perfect. Okay, Eugene, you want to do which easy, medium, hard?
Are you talking, Eugene? You're muted, bud.
We are doing coffee scenario, right?
Okay, yeah, let's stick with that. All right, John. And Eugene, if you can turn your mic off, and I'll give you a thumbs up when you can cut your mic back on. I mean your headphones, because I'm gonna tell them some black swans.
All right, I'll turn off the speaker now.
Hey, Jonathan. Hey, we're gonna pitch you some black swans. Is there any black swans you have in
Okay.
mind that he can uncover?
Mm. I like music.
Okay, likes music.
Oh shit! Never mind. Never mind. I wrote down freaking. Let's do another one.
You know what? He can have it. Whatever. Well, I don't know. I mean, if you got 3 other ones.
I play guitar.
Okay, let's get specific then. Guitar player.
And then I'm going to travel next week.
And now let's do like a vision type. Like, why are you working here on a Saturday morning?
Okay, yeah. Let's say that I want some extra hours.
Extra hours for the vacation, right? Or for the travel.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's good enough. And anybody want to chime in, modificate or something? No? All right. Well, let's give him a thumbs up.
All right. So
All right.
can you fill me in on like just a little bit different? Like what's the scenario? What's the goal? Like what's different about
Coffee shop.
Yeah.
Coffee shop. The only thing we did was we talked with Jonathan about his black swans. There's some black swans in there. I mean, the goal is not to uncover them. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But others, are heavy on black swan stuff. And so they can really help out and make a difference in the negotiation. So they're out there if you want to go try and catch some black swans. They do exist. And everything else is the same. Jonathan, he can give you the coffee if he feels like it. If he doesn't feel like it, you don't feel like it.
Okay. Well, let's try. So, I mean, knock, knock, I suppose. That's how we start, right?
Hey, sir. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Jonathan.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm Eugene. I wonder if you could possibly help me out for a moment.
Sure. How can I help you?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully this line, I mean, am I bothering you? There is some people behind. I really want to have a quick conversation with you, if it's possible.
Ooh, is it going to be a long conversation?
Well, I don't know, really, Jonathan. You seem like a friendly person, so I'm just hoping to get, some quick tips from you.
Oh, sorry, but I'm kind of busy right now. I mean, if it is a quick question, sure, yeah, I can help you.
Okay, maybe I can just stop by, you know, in a while when it's not so busy here. I like the
Sure,
place.
yeah.
So you know, okay. So I suppose I come back to, hey, Jonathan,
Yeah.
thank you for, you know, for making a time here. So I'm, you know, I'm new in town and I'm kind of exploring this area and I really like this coffee shop. So I'm wondering like what it takes to get a job here.
What it takes to, oh, you apply online, but right now we're not hiring.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was just looking around for the types of job, like what's how to fit in this community. Like maybe you have some certain recommendations.
No, not really. You go online and you apply. If you want a part-time, full-time, you just put it in there. But like I said, right now we're not hiring. If you want, I can take your name and
Okay.
let you know whenever we're hiring, so you can apply.
That's amazing. Do you, Jonathan, do you like this job?
Sure, yeah.
What do
Nice
you like
people.
about?
Oh, nice people. They have good benefits. They're flexible with the hours. If you need any hours or you have any plans, they let you. They're very flexible, so I like that about the job.
Oh, that's fascinating. And so it sounds like things are going fairly well for you here. I mean, is there anything you would kind of change about the job and the like your boss maybe? Like, just curious.
No, oh man, he's the best boss ever. I mean, if you want extra hours because you have any plans, things like that, he's willing to work around your schedule and let you do, you know, have your life.
Wow, it sounds like you really are having a great boss and you're happy with the job that you're doing here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Man, if we were hiring, I mean, for sure, I would like recommend you right now. He's actually coming this afternoon. But like I said, I can let you know whenever we're hiring.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, like I can see you have quite a variety of coffees here and teas. What's your personal favorite?
When it comes to the coffee,
Yeah.
well, I like the cappuccino. Black
You don't
coffee
seem
is
so
always
sure,
good.
Jonathan.
I'm not a big coffee guy, to be honest, but when I drink coffee, it's like a little cappuccino, coffee and cream, but I'm not like, and it's ironic because I work at a coffee shop. I'm not big on coffee.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, you know, I was just kind of listening to this podcast, and the other day they were saying that there are like kind of two type of people who are happy with the job and not so happy with the job, and it's really coming down to kind of how they're being treated in the workplace, and that's kind of defines the happiness levels. But people who are not happy at the job, and sometimes they actually kind of taken out of the customers. So I heard this secret, and maybe you can indulge me in this, that the people who kind of don't like the customers and customers buying coffee, they pouring them decaf.
Oh yeah? Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So anyway, like Jonathan, I wonder really like what would I guess like what would make you give some customer like a free coffee?
Well, I thought you came. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe sometimes we have coupons and things like that, but I don't know. I don't know. That will probably put me in trouble.
Oh, it sounds like you've been burned before by giving some free stuff.
Are you looking for any free stuff?
Well, I'm just curious, really, because I know that one of my previous job, you know, we were encouraged to keep the customers, and sometimes you would kind of, if they are nice and polite, we kind of sort of bribe them, you know what I mean? Like we give them free stuff to make them happy. So I'm wondering, how is it working out in your life and with this type of job that you're doing?
Well, pretty much most of the customers are nice people. So imagine if I gave, if I start giving free coffee to all of them, I mean, we're gonna run out of coffee and not make any money.
Don't be
because
ridiculous, Jonathan.
much of-
Everyone, why would you give free coffee to everyone? That will definitely get you in trouble.
Right, because most people are nice, and this is a small town, or in the city, most people that come here, they're nice. So,
What do you
and
mean? What do
coffee
you
is
mean
cheap.
by
It's
nice?
not expensive.
What do you mean by nice people? Like, what's a nice people to you?
Oh, they come, they talk, they have a smile, they have a good attitude, good vibe. They're happy. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, Jonathan, I'm probably boring you to death. Right now. Oh, it looks like we have a customer who's behind us right now.
Yeah, the tourist.
The tourist. It looks like a nice town, really, with a lot of smiling people. That's actually, kind of what's attracted me and to this community. And Jonathan, you being really, thank you. You being really helpful here. Jonathan, I'm preparing to kind of disappoint you. It's gonna feel like I'm punching you in the stomach. What would it take for you to kind of a gesture of goodwill and pouring me a cup of coffee?
Ooh.
Oops.
I mean, why would I do that?
Exactly, Jonathan. I'm really wondering, what would it take to be in this mood for you to maybe share a cup of coffee?
I mean, I got water. You want water?
Water is nice. No, I mean, but you mentioned that you like cappuccino, even though you're not a coffee kind of a guy. It would be it would be cool to kind of see how you're doing a job. I mean, I can see that you've been working here for a while, and you're probably a pretty good barista. Am I wrong?
Well, thank you for the compliments. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I try to do my job the best I can, but I thought you came here to apply and now you
Well,
want
hold
free
on,
coffee?
how
I
does
don't
it work?
understand.
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting and being an asshole. How does it work? You don't like coffee, and you working in a coffee shop and being a great barista. I mean, how does it fit in your life?
To work in a coffee shop and be a good barista?
I mean, you said that you don't really enjoy coffee, yet you're gonna have to make it every day for customers. Sounds like
Yeah, but making it is not drinking it, so it's all good.
okay. Well, I guess would it be a completely out of question to ask you to share a free cup of coffee?
I mean, I don't know. It's just
I'm sorry,
what's
Jonathan.
up with the free? What?
Oh my God, I'm putting you in a lot of pressure right now, and I can see that you're very uncomfortable doing that.
I don't understand. I don't know why you want a free coffee.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Can you repeat?
I don't understand why you want a free coffee.
Why I want a free coffee?
Yeah.
Well, it's just so happened to be, and I didn't really want to mention this. I kind of just went to this, and I'm probably going to bore you to tears right now. I just moved here and I lost my wallet on the way to the shop.
Oh, okay. You lost your wallet then.
Yeah, it's really embarrassing, and I really didn't. I apologize. I didn't really want to mention this or bother with you at all. I mean, you being very nice here and helping me out with potentially finding the the employer, and here I am telling you all about this crap that I have. You probably not care about this, and you don't have to really. So I was just curious, like, would it be completely ridiculous to to kind of play on your kindness and see if you could, help me out here.
And where did you move here in the city?
Oh, just this week, really. So I'm exploring the areas, and so far I'm enjoying it a lot. And having even this conversation, it seems, from where I'm from, it's not going to be happening. So I like the atmosphere here. But really, enough about me, John. I'm sure I'm taking up your time, and I'm bothering you here. So thank you so much for kind of helping me out here. So I guess, Jonathan, where do we go from here?
All right, I'm gonna give you the free coffee because you lost your wallet, and and it's all good. Yeah, free coffee is not gonna make us broke or any richer. So yeah, I can give you a free coffee.
I hope not, actually, and I'm still hoping to talk to your boss, perhaps. And would it help you if I kind of put a good word for you and how helpful you are? Like, is that something that might potentially help you?
No, it's okay. I can give you the free coffee, and it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your help. Really, I can see that you're the type of person who loves helping people.
Oh, thank you. It's very kind of you.
Well, thank you. I'm looking forward to speaking to you and to your boss whenever's possible.
Sure. All right. Enjoy your coffee.
Time.
Thank you.
All right, well, while emotions are still fresh, for the counterpart, Jonathan, give us a spiel, Eugene spiel, and then we'll go up the row. James, me, I got a bunch of notes, Douglas, and etc.
Sure. Yeah. Overall good. Overall good. Good tone of voice. Overall good. I mean, it's good, but there are some details that next time I advise you to improve on. When I was understanding that you wanted to apply for a job, next time make it clear that it's not that you're not applying for the job. That's not your intention. Because at some point it felt like, okay, I'm confused. So the whole thing about the job was to get the free coffee. Clarify your intentions. That's not your intention. So that I keep trusting you when you come to the ask. That was one. Yeah, that was the main one. I would say clarify the situation. Your tone of voice improved by the end. Your tone of voice improved. You sounded more sincere, and that was the main factor of me being willing to give you the free coffee. I was putting resistance because I didn't know why you wanted the free coffee until you mentioned that you lost your wallet. See, I thought that you wanted to apply for a job, then you didn't, then you wanted a free coffee, and then I wasn't understanding why. Then you mentioned that you lost your wallet, and okay, you lost your wallet, so it wasn't about the job, things like that. So make sure that next time all of these details are clear, because the way the other person might be perceiving you can be completely different than what you are trying to pretend.
Okay, I appreciate the feedback. So from my side, that was the initial kind of idea. I'm just gonna come to apply for the job and find out the situation. Like, do you like the job? Is that a good job to apply at all? And seeing if there is an angle there to kind of smooth myself into an ask, really. So it wasn't like it was not a strategy. It was just a frame that I tried to approach with. And when it kind of put me off when you ask, why do you want a free coffee? I was like, oh, really? Why do I want a free coffee? And so, the scenario was, as we played it out normally, we lost the wallet. So then I didn't want initially to start with that by saying, well, I lost my wallet. So you have this kind of sort of, okay, the guy need to help out the guy. I want you to feel like helping first. But when you ask why and ask me to justify my position, so I fell back.
I mean, I have a theory on why that didn't work, but yeah, no, that's I'm sorry, Eugene, I didn't mean to interrupt, couldn't help it, so juicy.
Yeah, that's about it.
Oh,
So
okay.
just to finish it off. Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit awkward when I asked for a coffee and I could see you're like, so I tried to stick in a few accusation audits. Again, I'm not sure how it landed. I would like to kind of see the recording one more time to understand a little bit more. It might have helped, might have not helped. I don't know, Jonathan, how did it feel to you? Did it help at all, or it's?
No, I didn't feel like they landed. I don't know if you said it before the wallet or after the wallet. Because again, I thought you were Eugene, like in real life, asking for the cup of coffee. I didn't know you were someone else who wanted to apply for the job. So I thought you were, Eugene in real life, who lost your wallet in real life, and you wanted the cup of coffee. So I didn't know you were playing someone else who was wanting to apply for the job. Because I know you're not going to apply for that top job. As far as I know, I wouldn't guess that you would. So the way I was perceiving the thing was like you wanted that, but then you wanted the free coffee. So the AS didn't land there.
Okay, cool, thanks.
All right, James.
What is that called when we do the sandwich conversation?
Oh, shit, good shit.
Yeah. I know that that's not the way that we're supposed to do it, but I don't remember the correct way of doing it.
Oh, that is the correct way. The normal way is good, bad, good, and then the negotiating way is bad, good, then bad.
Got it. Okay, so we're just inverting that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like the first thing that was just the core underneath all of what was maybe the struggle there is it felt like Eugene's intention was more of getting a free cup of coffee over building rapport. And that's my experience of what was going on in that, and there was some negative labeling that was going on in there. It kept kind of putting Jonathan into a corner where it was like he just there wasn't really going to be a comfortable answer for him, because it was like, okay, if he responds with anything, like I just kept feeling like it was the questions were about that, winning and that, and less of building the rapport. So that's kind of the overall what I was kind of feeling. I feel like the thing that Eugene does really well is his tone. So he's consistent with his tone throughout the entire conversation. He doesn't escalate or go like, there doesn't seem to be any type of like, okay, this is not working or this is working internally. He feels really consistent with his tone, which I think is super valuable, because that's really easy to go into a conversation, feel like something's not working out, and then the tone's going to drift into a less useful place. So I thought he did that really well. But yeah, I would say mostly the focus on connecting with Jonathan and almost making that like the free coffee thing or whatever it is irrelevant, and also the confusion about the getting the job thing. I don't know if that was actually a thing. Like if that was a real conversation. There's a meta aspect of this conversation as well, which is Eugene's role playing. And was the role playing of getting a job, is that something Eugene really was wanting to do, or was it the intention to distract with that? And if the intention was to actually get a job, then awesome. That's a great place to go into. But if it was the intention was to distract, in my experience, people are pretty savvy. And if we intend to try to distract them with something like that, they're going to pick up on it, and they're going to be like, why are you trying to, what is this about? Like what Jonathan was saying, like, be clear on your intention on what's going on with this. So just, I guess, always assume that the counterpart is going to pick up on anything that we're trying to distract them with.
Yeah.
Was that the appropriate order of?
No, I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out how to,
yeah.
the order in which to share those
There was
things.
because Eugene was actually playing the role of somebody looking for a job, and I was thinking that Eugene was being Eugene, who lost his wallet and wanted a free coffee. I didn't know he was playing a role. I thought he was being him.
Got
Well,
it.
I mean, technically, you don't know if he lost his wallet. as the barista. That's kind of like black, because yeah, we've seen where negotiators, yeah, they don't talk about the wall. It's like the matrix. The spoon doesn't exist, right?
think
And
it's
we've
the-
seen it when you, yeah, as James said, when you don't talk about the coffee, it's somehow manifest itself. Your counterpart's like, what can I do for you? It's the least I can do for you is give you a cup of coffee. So what I think did it here is, yeah, Eugene was, he was focused, according to James, on the goal of the free coffee. For me, it felt like he was focused on how does he like working here. And frankly, that was not even near the real Black Swan was. He was just working there extra hours on a Saturday, so because he's getting ready to travel next week, and he enjoys playing the guitar. And so and towards the end, I want to say I noticed Jonathan was doing some reverse stuff because he was getting Douglas to spill beans on. He caught, first of all,
Douglas?
Jonathan started reversing questions, or he started gathering info on the negotiator. For example, he gathered that he lost his wallet. He gathered that he just moved here this week. He gathered that he needs help me out here. And so, yeah, I mean, I can see, but then Eugene really flipped it over when he said, where do we go from here? And I wanted that question really seemed to turn the tide. And then the free coffee happened. I was shocked. And so before that, yeah, so those are the Black Swans, those three. And I think if he would have, yeah, got those Black Swans, got to know, focus more on his personal stuff, on Jonathan, would have been more effortless. Yeah, he's new in town. Wondering what it takes to get a job here. Anything you would change about your job or your boss? What's your personal favorite tea? Imposing while you're happy with the job, he likes it. What would make you give a customer, that was a goal, make you give a customer free coffee, which he went on. Good attitude, good vibe. Thank you for being generous here. That was a good validation. And then I'm getting ready to disappoint you, punching you in the stomach. Only thing, just a little more dynamic silence. But those were good. And then you got I've never seen Jonathan give anything. He almost called his manager on me once. So good job on that, Eugene. Yeah, your tone, you were really able to hit with many angles. I know it's late out there, but like focus more on Jonathan. James, that's all my feedback. That's it.
Just had a quick question for Jonathan. It seemed like to me that Jonathan was wanting the conversation to be over. And he was giving the coffee out of, let's just make this conversation be over. I was curious if he was coming, like where his reason was for actually giving the coffee. I don't think I've heard that. I think I might have missed that.
Yes, James, you're right. The
like a
coffee was
test.
more out of kindness, and because more out of kindness than it was out of I really want to do this. It was more out of kindness and just finishing up the conversation, because a cup of coffee is gonna stay, out of argument, stay out of trouble, giving the coffee, and that's it.
Got it. So it
Yeah.
was it felt like it was both, like where this conversation can go. You weren't doing it because you were excited about giving him a free coffee. It was more of like, this guy's having a rough day and obviously he wants some coffee. Let me be a nice guy here.
Right, exactly. With a coffee, I'm not gonna lose anything. Giving the coffee, and that's it. If
Alright,
you
thank
want.
I think
Thanks,
the
Jonathan.
big difference, and this is good for me as a sales guy, is when Douglas went with Costa, he didn't trigger this guy wants something for free. And I feel like Jonathan got triggered fairly, he caught on really quick that he needs something. Where Costa, I don't think he felt that trigger until the very end, where he was about to offer him something, but Douglas was like, you know what, I'm just gonna ask. So yeah.
Oh, there's something else, Dan, that's happening there between both
What is?
Jonathan and Eugene. They're both assertives. And
Oh,
one of
yeah,
the
it was the
things about
personality types.
assertives, I'm as well, and I think you are as well, Dennis, we don't like other people controlling the context of our conversation or what's happening. And I felt like both Eugene and Jonathan were both trying to control the context of that conversation. And they were it felt like they were pushing back and forth with each other. That there was like a vying for control of who's controlling this frame. I don't know if that's that they were feeling that, but from the outside, that's what it was looking like to me.
Well, from me, when I was just looking at Jonathan, I know he looks like a wall. Like report, I don't know how to build report with a wall. So for me, like, what was the angle? And that's exactly how Jonathan felt. And I had this intention to appear kind, appealing to his kindness, like, help me out with the job. Okay, oh, you like this job. Oh, okay, you like working here. Okay, cool. So like appealing to this kind of a side of a thing, and then slowly asking for coffee out of sort of kindness to see if this wall can actually, there's some cracks in this wall. And that's how in general it feels like when I see Jonathan doing this mocks. It's very like this, right? It's really hard. When I saw last time Jonathan was going with Patricia, it was a different dynamic. But in general, when Jonathan is going with guys, it is always this kind of a
Patricia's a
stubborn-
report building monster, though.
Yeah, that's what she does.
She
She
is.
just, she asks questions, builds reports, and he haha.
She's a
Yes, also
professional
nice stuff.
journalist. Like,
Exactly.
oh yeah, gets you interested.
Yeah, but I mean, don't. The thing is, a lot of it had to do with me thinking that you were looking for a job. I didn't know you were playing the role somebody looking for a job. So a lot of it had to do with that, because I felt like, is it about the job or is it about the coffee? If I knew that you were playing the role of somebody looking for a job, it would have been totally different. A lot of it had to do with that.
And even with all that, I mean, he still got the coffee. I think for me, the magic was when you told him, good attitude, good vibe. That's what makes me give free coffee away. That's what I think Eugene leveraged towards the end. He validated that, and you wanted to live up to that. I don't know, whatever image he projected. You think that when you reflect on that, Jonathan, you think that had any help? You think you felt that was leverage?
Yeah, that, and also that, when there was a little bit of tension between us, you laughed it off.
Oh, yeah.
And that was very, very good for me to, like, not to get the assertive out, because okay, he's joking, what? Okay, you were diminishing the tension. So when you felt the tension, you laughed, and that was good to keep the interaction going. So good job on that. Otherwise, I would have been more of a wall towards you. So laughter is amazing when it comes to tension
Nice.
in the interaction.
Douglas, I see you with a clipboard. Wow, what do you got for us?
I really, I'm perplexed at how to grade this one. Kind of. The thing that I really appreciate about what Eugene is saying is that Jonathan was not really letting him plug in too much to reporter, and I think Eugene's. It's what you're gonna face that too. You, like me with Florin, a lot of times I had a hard time a long time ago really getting any connection with Florin, for example. And so when you meet someone who's gonna not give you the easy connection, you just have to iterate. And I feel like that's probably one of the things I appreciated most about what Eugene did there is he didn't get frustrated. He just stayed in the pocket and iterated he just kept trying. And so I think that's one of the things that I really appreciate about what Eugene did there. Certainly could tell and could feel that that Jonathan was getting annoyed toward the end. There was some real annoyance there, but he didn't let that phase him, and he stayed in the pocket, as we like to say. Also, really, and I see where he was going with the getting a job thing, and I thought your strategy there was good, Eugene, because you were basically asking for advice, and I think it's easy, a great way to get someone really opening up to you, and I think the strategy overall was excellent from that standpoint. Again, the downside here is the rapport just never hit, but that's going to happen, right? In life, are we always going to get rapport with people? No. And I still think you have to give you a win there, because you still, despite getting any kind of actual rapport going to any extent, you still got what you were, your objective. So I
Yeah.
think I have to give that a huge win, because in
Yeah,
a
it
sense, you despite not having rapport, which is so important, you still got your outcome. And I think that's saying something there.
Yeah. Costa?
I think I can explain some of the bad rapport. My ideas, of course, maybe I am wrong. One is that if you see Jonathan, he sits this way, and Eugene was sitting this way. Maybe it's the place how he put Eugene. Maybe it's where you put your camera, but you seem like you are this way, and Jonathan was this way. So very hard to make a report if it seemed that you are leading the opposite ways. You know, it's good enough to make a wall there. Another thing that it was very bad, for my opinion, okay, is that we're doing this. You did. That's a sign that I don't believe you. Maybe you think you are thinking, but what I take is I don't believe you. I have something to hide. I am hiding something, and it is not a good idea for rapport building. This you do it in the beginning, then you let it go, and you take it to the end. These things, because you put something. First of all, you put something between you and the other. Your hand. You are confronted with your hand. Second, you hide your mouth, so you feels like you are going to say a lie, and like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Jonathan.
Yeah. Side note: we have to consider that we are from different countries, because some things are perceived in other countries in a certain way. That
Yes. For me,
so that we have to consider that.
Yes, for me it's this. I hide something, especially this.
That's good. I'm glad somebody was looking at body language.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I have more to say.
Yeah, what else you got?
I don't like the way he said that he lost the wallet.
Okay.
It seems like he read it at the last time. He is like he get an idea. I'll tell I lost my wallet. It didn't. Something doesn't go well. You know, for me, it seems that he throw it away, like he takes from something, and he says, "Oh, I lost my wallet."
Well, apparently
not
for
very
Jonathan,
public.
that was the main driver for him, that's what, yeah, I mean, that's fascinating. What else you got, Costa?
No, that's all for me.
Jonathan, you want to rebuttal on that? Like, were you okay the way he told you about his wallet?
Yeah, I mean, actually, the clarification was one of the main reasons why, I wanted to give the coffee, because if it wasn't because of how the report went, if the reason wasn't there, I wouldn't be like, okay, no.
That's why I think it's critical when he said, when Jonathan expressed that he likes cool vibes and things like that, because he wanted to be that as well, not just talk about it, be about it. Yeah, that's Joel, you got any observations in general, anything?
The only thing, I mean, like how Jonathan felt with Eugene talking to a wall. That's Jonathan. I think the only way Jonathan was going to give Eugene the coffee if Eugene promised to leave him alone. At some point, if he were to say, "Look, I'll get out of your hair," I might talk to the mic. If he were to say, "Look, I'll get out of your hair, just give me the coffee," right? Maybe he would have done it. But where Eugene said, "What would it take for you to give someone free coffee?" And Jonathan said, "I'd get fired." Now he's establishing why he's not going to give him the coffee, that he's not going to go back on his word. if Eugene would have just gone to cut that part out of the whole, the whole spiel and got to the last part of it where he says, where he changes his tone and is more of a hat in hand approach. Like, look, here's my issue. Here's what's gotten me down. I lost my wallet. I think that tone really hit Jonathan more than the, hey buddy, where's my coffee, buddy? Hey, you got a job sort of thing. That was kind of getting
Oh, it's
Jonathan's
fascinating.
wallet stay up. But when he came hat in hand, alms for the poor, please, you got to help me. I got starving kids. Then it kind of maybe hit a nerve with Jonathan where it's like, okay, but and that's it. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, Jonathan, what would you categorize that as a good attitude that Eugene compared from the first half to the second half? Like, is that you rewarded that good attitude in a way of humbling and saying, hey man, here's my problem?
No, Joel said it perfectly. It was more out of kindness, finishing up the interaction. Yes, he gave me the reasons, lost my wallet, I'm new in town, blah blah blah. Okay, fine, no problem.
That was good. And anything else, Joel?
I mean, we're all learning from this. We're
Right.
learning what approaches work because Jonathan is learning on the customer service side, how he's making a customer feel. And Eugene is feeling, again, we're talking coffee here, what approach, and that's why we're here to tweak our own approaches. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
augment what we got. We always give either destructive feedback or constructive, you decide.
Yeah.
Joel, I mean, we explored this scenario multiple times and we established that there's two ways to get it. Like, I mean, people fall into the two buckets, whether they become victim or they're going to become villain. Like, I'm a victim, like I lost my wallet, please help me out here. I'm so busy, like I've got this meeting. I would really need, coffee. Can you help me out here? That's typically what happens in these scenarios. Or someone gonna come with the sense of entitlement. I'm your customer here for a long time. Why don't you give me a cup of coffee? I just lost my freaking wallet. I'm coming here tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, after 3 weeks, after 3 months. Just give me the cup of coffee and I'll be on my way. So that's kind of a sense of entitlement. So I didn't really, this is the second time I'm playing this. I didn't really want to use those pockets immediately. I wanted to explore. I know with Jonathan, it's always hard to explore. It's hard to connect with us in terms of rapport.
Well,
So I was trying to find
yeah.
different angles. And like I mentioned before in my head, okay, if I try to approach the conversation is like, I'm looking for some help. What kind of help? Okay, let it be a job. So that was before we started, okay, I'm gonna ask for a job and see if there's gonna be any angles to establish the rapport, but it wasn't working that well. So then Jonathan actually prompted me to give the reason, like, why are you looking for free coffee? Okay, you're a victim here. You lost the wallet. Okay, I can help you out. So then again, we had to fall into this pocket of, okay, I'm a victim here, and okay, I'll help you out. By the grace of God, I'll give you the cup of coffee,
Right.
So,
That's good. You kept that tone and kept approaching it. That's great. Aliman, any takeaways? Anything?
I would. I think I had a practice one with Jonathan previously, but I think I was in the reception, the front office. But seeing the sessions, seeing how Eugene conversation with Jonathan, in terms of that, I have to also agree with Eugene that it's difficult to build rapport with Jonathan, and maybe I can hear from Jonathan what's the key to quickly building a relationship with Jonathan in terms of this scenario.
Wait,
I don't know if I'm
don't,
gonna pronounce the word.
wait. If you
Okay.
have an answer, Jonathan, let's leave it after you do a role play with James. He's going to be the negotiator. But that
Okay.
He's
That is a
asking for the black
fantastic-
swan that in that
well, we can take your
conversation.
mic off and give some black swans. But yeah, you know what, James? Can you take your mic, your headphones off for just like
Yeah.
5 seconds and then pop them back in? Yeah, Jonathan, what would it need for someone to do to build that rapport with you? Can you give us some black swan, something or anything?
Sure. I don't know how to pronounce the word authenticity.
Authenticity. Okay. Um,
Yes. If I feel like you're playing games, you're out.
no-
So
no
you cannot
bullshit.
be, I cannot feel like you're playing games.
Okay, and now let's, do you want to use this, maybe a different black swan, something other than playing guitar? What's another? Surfing or something?
Let's do soccer. I'm a big
Soccer.
soccer fan.
Okay, anything you got coming up in the future other than travel? Something exciting, something that you want to talk about?
Let's say that I like, instead of coffee, I like, I drink a lot of Coke, Diet Coke. So let's say
Diet
that.
Coke. Okay, and then the last one is the vision. So for you, your vision is for everyone to be authentic and themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's
Great.
yeah. Okay, we're gonna get James Mike back on, and then we still got to hear Florin.
But I have a question.
Yeah.
Is he going to play a role play when he's looking for a job, or is he going to be James?
No, just
the
James. So
James
trying to
we
get a
all
cup
know?
of coffee.
Okay.
Hey, Dan, by the way, is somebody waiting in the waiting room?
No,
Okay.
James. Yeah. All right. We're gonna give if Element has any other more feedback, and then we'll go to Florin. Or no, I think Florin can't chat. He said.
I just want to mention also that Eugene approach is asking to going in to ask about employment or a job to build the relationship with Jonathan, but there was no like Jonathan was not sympathizing or showing that he want to help in any way. So again, that's the roadblock, or that's the wall he couldn't climb over. But that's I think Jonathan, you mentioned he's assertive type. So yeah, that's you got to be fast with the assertive because they can catch you quickly, and they just want to move on quite fast with the next order or the next task.
Yeah, they want to keep it real.
That's all for me.
They don't want to BS. Yeah. Great. Florin, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Well, James wants to be the negotiator at the coffee shop Saturday morning. He just wants to get that cup of Joe or whatever, cup of tea, whatever he's into.
Can
Or
I
whatever
say
he's
I'm a little,
offered. Who knows? Who knows
a little
with
excited
Jonathan?
about this conversation because like I kind of made my intentions clear about building rapport already, and you guys already know how that works with
Wow.
Jonathan. So you guys are going to be able to look at this conversation and immediately tell how badly I'm screwing it up. So I don't know.
James,
This feels like an awesome challenge. Oh, I can't hear you, Jonathan, bud. Muted, bud.
No, I'm saying you're not playing a role where you're looking for a job. You're being James,
Yeah,
the
he's being
one,
James
you.
getting a cup of coffee. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, you're looking
Walking
for
into a coffee shop and you
Trying to
are
be as-
standing at the counter.
Yeah.
Got it. Are you wearing a name tag?
I mean, it's not that hard. Okay, sure. Yeah, I want to name.
You laugh, but it's the first thing I look for when I walk into a place.
Same here.
Got it. So I walk in. Have we met before, Jonathan? This is the first time I've been in this coffee shop.
First time.
Okay, got it. Good morning, Jonathan. How are you today?
Hi, sir. How are you? Good.
I'm fantastic, dude. How's your day going, man?
Pretty good. How can I help you?
I would like some coffee. You guys have some of that here?
Sure. Yeah, we're full of it.
Yeah. Whatever your largest coffee dealy thingy is, and if we could throw a couple extra shots in it, yeah, I need coffee. I slept like 2 hours last night, man. And chai as well.
So you want like coffee with pretty much everything in it.
Like a blended caramel deal. I don't really like the flavor of coffee at all. And if we could put a couple extra coffee shots in it, so there's lots of caffeine in there, and then some chai in it, as well.
Oh,
would be
sure.
great. Blended.
I get it ready for you. Sure, it's
That'd be
about $25.
Wow, that's gonna be a great cup of coffee.
Well, if you want the big size, if you want medium size, it's 10.
Let me clarify. How large is? Am I getting like a gallon size coffee for $25? Is that what I'm getting? Or how big is large? I should probably ask that.
Well, this is not Starbucks, okay? This is a high-end coffee shop.
Oh,
so
yeah, totally. Okay,
in a-
no, I'm
in a
down with
big-
paying $25 if you guys got the coffee here. I just want to make sure that I'm not getting like this massive coffee that I can't actually drink.
No, it's just that the quality of the coffee, and because this is a
guys got
local
great coffee
business,
here.
right?
Got it.
We it's
Okay.
handmade. We don't do all the processing and all the things that big corporations do. So the
Got it.
quality and the taste shows in the price.
It sounds like you're thinking I might think that this is an expensive coffee.
Well, no, just to clarify, maybe you're not around from here, so just to clarify
No,
that.
I'm not.
That
I'm not.
reason.
No, I'm totally
Yeah, but no
fine with the
problem.
price. Mostly, I was just curious about the size. How big is it?
It's about
like a
about like
16
this
ounce.
big.
About
Yeah.
that big. Okay, so like a 12 ounce. Okay. Okay, cool. Hey, a question for you, Jonathan. As you already kind of figured out, I'm not really from around here. I'm new in the area, and I'm really just looking for, I don't know, the first thing I feel like is really important when I move to a new area is establishing some just awesome friendships or relationships with people. If you were new to this area, where would you go to meet like just some awesome people?
Oh yeah, it's a lot of clubs and bars. There's also the beach. A lot of it gets crowded today, Saturday,
Okay.
Sundays too. Everybody goes there. A lot of people come to this coffee shop too around 12, 1 p.m. Also at night, 6 p.m. A lot of people come in, and we have tables over here, and you can talk to people, and we have a lounge also where you can meet people that are locals.
Wow. Okay. It sounds like you actually know this area pretty well. How long have you been working here?
For about 3 months.
Wow. Okay. Were you doing barista work before? You sound like you picked up on the patterns of this area pretty quickly. How did you know? Like,
Yeah, I've been living here for a while, but I recently got this job about 3 months ago.
oh, got it. Okay. So you've been here for a while, but the barista thing is new. Is this kind of like your end goal is being a barista? I've run into a lot of baristas, and generally this is kind of like a holdover for something else that they're wanting to do.
No, it's not what I want to do long term, but I know I like the hours and it's it pays well, so yeah.
Yeah. And generally people are pretty happy. I'm guessing like you're getting to wake them up in the morning with their coffee. So a lot of happy people in the space. Well, what do you want to do, man?
Yeah. Oh well,
Sorry,
I like
I'm being
to
super
travel.
nosy. I'm just curious. What do you want to do when you're not being here, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I like music.
Are you a musician?
So yeah.
Oh, really? What do you play?
I play guitar.
Dude, that's awesome. I have a sad story about a guitar. Can I share a sad story about a guitar? I actually
Sure, go ahead.
So when I was growing up, my mother got me a guitar, and I really wanted to play, and I was super stoked. I had the thing for a month, and I had this lady broadside me in my truck, and I had the window open, and the guitar flew out and shattered my guitar after I'd had it for a month. And like my car was my truck that I had was wrecked, and for whatever reason I didn't give a shit about my truck. My smashed guitar, I was like totally ignoring the lady, and I was just crying over my smashed guitar, and it's kind of a sad moment. So that was I've wanted to get back into that. Have you been playing for a while?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
a long time.
You don't happen to teach by any chance, do you?
No, I don't. I
No?
don't have the
Okay.
time.
No? Okay.
Well, you sound like you want to learn.
I do. I really do. I'm a dad now, and my kid is picked up piano, and he's been playing that really consistently for about a year, and he's better at it than I am now, and I really would like to learn how to play so that we can play together. And just been like in the back of my head, like, man, I really need to get back into that so that we can play together. That's kind of a dream that I've had. I've been able to play with my kid. Do you play the guitar? Do you have a band, or do you play here locally?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do?
I do have. Yeah.
Do you happen to play in this coffee shop?
No, not in this culture, but I play around some bars. I'll let you know if you
Oh,
want to
yeah?
go check out the band.
Dude,
Yeah.
I love local bands. Where would you go if you were
What's your
gonna go
name,
listen?
by the way?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm James. What's your name, man? Jonathan. Name tag. Right.
Jonathan. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure,
James.
man. Well, your coffee is ready. If you
Oh, it is?
want, you
Okay,
know,
awesome.
if you want, we can exchange numbers and
Dude, that would be awesome.
And you can
I'm
go
just
check
gonna
out the
flip my
band.
phone out and hand it to you with the screen open.
cool.
Thanks, dude.
Cool,
Yeah, I'd
cool.
love to connect up with the musicians in the area and just kind of hear what you guys are all doing. And yeah, that would be awesome.
Sure. Well,
do you guys ever have like couples night? I'm sorry, dude, you got work to do. I don't mean to interrupt what you have going on.
yeah. So
You said it was 25 something?
Yeah, 25. Yeah, $25.
Shit. Dude, I'm about to be an asshole right now. I forgot my wallet. Uh, is there any chance that I can pay you for it tomorrow? Sorry, I'm being an ass right now. Please feel free to say no.
Oh man, yeah, you can play tomorrow, man. Don't worry about it.
All right, cool, dude. Thanks, and I'm looking forward to
All right.
getting a chance to come and watch you play.
Sure, man. Thank you.
All right.
Man, that was awesome, bro.
All right, Warrior, you guys still fresh. Jonathan, how did it feel this time? And
Oh, it felt great, man. He came in, he asked for a coffee. You know, he didn't play any games. He told me straight out what he wanted. He built a lot of rapport. We connected. He sounded happy, sounded cool. The kind of guy that I would hang out with. He didn't end the interaction with the coffee. He actually wanted to connect with music and things like that. So he was being James.
and
So yeah.
let me ask you this: if he showed up tomorrow, would you feel bad charging him 25? Especially if he contacted you, would you let him slide on it?
No, it would be all right.
Oh, good.
It'll be
Damn,
okay.
James. Good job, man. Like a round of applause here from the crowd.
Yeah.
All right, good job. Let's James, how about you? What were you feeling?
I honestly, there was a little bit of kind of stiltedness in some of that where I felt like I ran off on a bunny trail that I was lost on. Like I want to meet up with you musicians comment that I made. I was like, well, that was stupid. Like I do, but I don't really have anything to offer to them. Like I would love to hang out with a bunch of musicians and listen to them play. I've had a few friends that are like that, and it's super awesome to do that. But I feel like I was being a little needy with that request. So that's kind of rolling around in my brain. It's just like, I don't want to do that to these guys. They don't want some non-musician person hanging out with them. It was more of a coming from I would love to hang out and listen to them jam. That's just, I don't know. I've done that a couple of times with people before, and it's super fun to listen to guys who are just jamming and having a good time. And so, yeah, it sounds like fun. But I guess that when I walk away from a conversation, I'll generally reflect on it and be like, what did I screw up? What did I do wrong? And my brain is kind of like floating in on that. I was like, well, that was just a needy thing to say in that conversation. So anyway, that's where my brain goes.
Oh, but it didn't feel needed at all, man. I didn't even that.
Well, cool.
No,
I'm glad.
I would have never thought about that.
For
Cool.
me, I don't have much to say. The Black Swans, you got, you know what? You got 1 out of 3. He likes Diet Coke. I mean, doesn't matter. I mean, and soccer, but you know, you got the guitar. I guess that counts. 1.5. It's good enough. But you got a lot. What I really did note and highlight in bold is when you said, man, I'm super nosy. I'm just curious. That was a really good line. It sounded authentic.
I use it a lot, actually, because I
Yeah,
am,
me too.
and that's very
It's
true.
like a Columbo, right? We're talking about that in Vlad's class yesterday. It's kind of like, I'm just curious. Just curious. Douglas, I hope you have more than I do for feedback.
You know, I really, I want to have a compliment sandwich, but there's no shit in it. So
Oh, come on, give me some shit, Doug. I
yeah,
fucked something up. I
I
can't learn anything
really
here if you guys are just giving me
thought that
compliments.
was some of the most excellent in your own element rapport building I've seen in any of these mocks. I really do. You were genuinely in a curiosity state, and Jonathan definitely responded to that. And I think you've really shown a natural ability to connect with people. Again, the only, and again, if I mean, being hyper nitpicky, there was a little too much I in that.
Yeah.
That's like really being harsh though, because I'm really digging for that one, because if I'm like trying to critique any little small thing that could improve, and I mean that as an opportunity, as to try
Thank
to
you.
tamp that down a little bit, but that's really stretching, because I think overall it was just well executed and well done.
Good. Costa, you got anything for us?
A few things. You come to James, you go awesome, and immediately you said, I tell you a sad story. It doesn't couple, from awesome to I tell you a sad story. It's very, very strange. While you're saying, enthusiastic to go to sad, that's I don't know.
Well, that was one of the black swans that for Jonathan, is to keep it authentic and real. As he just
Maybe,
put in chat. But
maybe
other than that, it's a good observation.
Yes, and they were excellent. The one he told that it's okay me to leave and take nothing. At the end, when he asked for a coffee, and he says something like, I understand if you said no, of course I will leave with no problem. It was very well delivered. It was excellent.
Yeah. And then as Jonathan said, if he came back the next day, he probably would let him slide on that $25 thing. Yeah. Joel, man, forgive me if I butcher your name. Any feedback here? Any thoughts?
Is it Joel or Joel?
Yeah.
I get both. Pick one.
What do you
Anyone.
prefer?
What do you prefer?
Yeah.
Pick card. Joel.
Joel?
Joel, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it went good. I think the only disconnect that I picked up on, the biggest one, was the gallon comment. Like, what do you get, a gallon for that sort of thing? Where then they had Jonathan defending his gourmet coffee.
Right.
Where then it just kind of a slight disconnect, where it would have been like, wow, that must be some really gourmet stuff. You guys probably take a lot of pride. $25 is a lot for a cup of coffee. So I was thinking, like, good luck getting that for free, right? Maybe $12 he can part with, but $25. Jonathan, you think you'd be able to part with $25 if you're selling coffee at that price?
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Good, very good observation, because I did feel like I had to defend myself, but then then it was all right. I didn't make a big deal out of it either.
So you're saying that, Jonathan, that little bit of dose of banter, for you, it came off as authentic. Like, oh damn, this guy, he's a little bit off the cuff, a little loose.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Everything he said was real. Like, if he would have been like Costa said, oh, instead of sharing a sad story, share a happy story. If I feel that he's doing that to make me like him, it's not gonna go good. If he says the comment about the gallon of coffee, but okay, but he's being himself, it's okay. Like, it's okay. I didn't make a big deal. But then if I feel like he's saying it to get something out of me, then I pull the wall.
Yeah, and I think I remember in the beginning you said your black swan was soccer.
Yeah.
But then you came out with music.
Yeah, what happened there, Jonathan? Just curious.
Yeah, he didn't want to give him soccer. It's crazy.
Why didn't you give him soccer?
Oh, because we were talking about bars and he wanted to meet people and
So in a
I don't
way,
know.
you wanted to connect with him.
Yeah,
Oh, damn, Joe, man, you're an observational mastermind here. It's
yeah, he's very good.
yeah, right? No, that's man, you're looking for like deeper. Yeah, that's
I have a question about the sad story.
Mhm.
I actually think it's good, and here's why. The human condition is about struggle and suffer, and pain and loss, and that's loss aversion. We're getting to loss aversion. So what I think you did is you plug Jonathan into your loss aversion, and
Forced
that plugged him into you. And I think I understand what Costa is saying. I actually think it was good because it plugged him into your humanity, and I think that is why I think it was good. Now it might be a high risk thing. If you miss with it, you might be like a thing where if you miss with the particular thing, but you already had enough data to say, well, I bet, like if you've known any musicians like I have, their guitar is like, it's their baby, man.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Jonathan would agree with me. I mean, it's like, like a 1965 Fender Stratocaster or something. They can tell you like down to like the strings they use, what's particularly great about their particular guitar, the pedals that they use, for example. So you're plugging him into, that line of thinking, I think, or that relationship with his own world. So I think from my standpoint, that I think it was good from that standpoint. I'd be curious to see what everybody else thinks about that idea.
yeah. Then let's go to a
Yeah.
big thinker here, Eugene.
Exactly. I wanted to mention about the story itself. It was a great story. There was not much actually to add to the feedback that the other guys expressed. I think what would be really cool, James, like if you could double down on your storytelling and perhaps use a third person a little bit more rather than referring to I, but something like, Jonathan, you know how, when you're waiting to pick up this guitar off the shelf and you've been waiting for a whole freaking month. And now, I'm in the car, kind of, driving, my guitar is at the back, and I'm looking forward to, I don't know, wherever you were going. And some random lady just broadsided me, boom, like that. And that wasn't the worst of it. And then you relate the story to the sort of to appeal to his side of things. Again, this is just something that came to mind as an idea. It's like the guitar, Jonathan, is actually flew out of the window and crashed. So I mean, what I'm saying here is, I think if you could kind of when you're telling the story, use more of the counterpart's name to lure them in even more. So Jonathan, listen, and so when you're telling the story, Jonathan, so here's what happened. And because Jonathan said he's a musician and you relating your story to, to Jonathan, you could perhaps use more of the kind of a sensory words in that space. So like, yes.
Can you help me understand something, Eugene? When I had what I felt like was a clear intention of what that story was for, and the way, and the intention has a tendency of leading how I go about sharing it. With sharing it in that way, what is because I feel like when I'm having a conversation, I can't pay attention to very many things. So this generally, like, what is my intention in this conversation or in what I'm communicating? What would be the intention of communicating the story in that way? What's the intention?
Well, the intention, and I'm not pertaining to this particular scenario, just this doubling down on storytelling. If you have some cool
Right.
story
So
there,
if we double down on storytelling, what is the intention of that doubling down? What do we hope to achieve with that?
yeah, to evoke emotion at the stronger level.
Okay.
So to pull out more emotional strings in this case, not necessarily in a way to manipulate, but to connect at the deeper level.
Got it. I think there's some people who I think really value kind of like the elaborate story. When I was reading how Jonathan was responding, authenticity seemed really important. And if I was embellishing the story too much, that it could come off as inauthentic. Like I'm
Yeah,
trying
100%.
to like make him feel something by telling the story in this particular way, when the core of the like intention with that was trying to communicate like, I see you. I think I might understand what it feels like to be a musician. I'm not a musician, but I think I understand the love of an instrument. And here's a story. Instead of just telling him like I love an instrument, showing him, or describing a situation in like a real situation that happened, to show my feelings about music.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm not disagreeing with you here. Like you just tell the story, and actually the whole scenario, there was less of I from your approach, and there was more room for Jonathan to kind of be there. So remember how last time we said, well, last negotiation, mock negotiation, you went through, it was like 80 to 90% I, and it's just you taking up space. So this, compared to what happened yesterday, is a dramatic improvement. And that was, it felt
Thanks, man.
more, yeah, it was
Definitely
it
something
felt
I'm working
much
on.
more organic. It felt more organic. It didn't feel overwhelming from your side. So like I said, there was not much to add. So that was a great approach. Apart from the last thing, and that's just might be me nitpicking the whole thing. When you say, when we're asking for a free coffee, it's not kind of a free coffee that you got. You got a promise, right? You promise that you're going to pay it tomorrow. It's not a free coffee. So it's kind of a things. Then the fact is that you might not come tomorrow and not pay for it. That will be a lie. That will be destroying the relationship. Or if you'd come and pay for the yesterday's coffee, then it wasn't really free in a sense. So
Right.
That's just again nitpicking, and
There is a, I feel like in any conversation, there's a gamble that's happening. Like we're always gambling. Like the moment we ask for something for free, there's a gamble of whether they're going to say yes or no. Like what are the chances of them going to say yes or no? Like, hey, would it be terrible for me to ask for free coffee at this point? They could say no, or they could say, yeah, that's probably not okay. So we're gambling in that moment. So my gamble in that conversation is that by tomorrow, hopefully we'll have bonded some, and he's going to do that. And the other thing is, I've had situations like that happen enough times where I will come back, or I've done that a lot with the people around in my local area where I build enough rapport, and occasionally I do forget my wallet. And I'm like, ah, crap, I forgot it. And they'll tell me, don't worry about it. You can pay for it next time. And then I come in and try to pay for it, and they'll tell me, don't worry about it. So I've had some experience in that situation where that's happened enough to where the intention is to get it for free, but always be willing to pay for it. And I find that willingness, that letting go of the neediness around that, has a tendency of creating that situation more often than not. So if I'm going to gamble on it, if I'm going to gamble on, are they going to say yes or no? Go for the more stronger yes, and gambling on whether or not I actually have to pay for it.
yeah,
That makes
100%, James, and it makes sense because you were totally authentic. You just did what you normally do. And when I approach the scenarios, I put myself out of character, and that's why it seems inauthentic, because it's uncomfortable to do that, to ask someone for free coffee. Like I would not do that. I never forget my wallet, first of all. So just going through this role play, it's awkward in itself, right? And that's just my personal approach. I'm just throwing myself out there. I don't know what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it. It's just staying present to it. And it's just a small thing, like, okay, so when we're asking for free coffee, did you really ask for a free coffee, or did you ask for a line of credit? Literally. You know what I'm saying? So
that's again the intention. What is the intention in this situation? And it's to get something for free, right? Well, I mean, it's not even that, honestly, because that's not the intention, because then I'm just manipulating the conversation. This is kind of one of those things, the meta aspect of the conversation. Am I manipulating to get something for free, right? I could have had that entire conversation and known walking into that coffee shop I didn't have my wallet. And if I knew that walking in, then that entire conversation was a manipulation, right? So this really just comes down to, which is kind of a weird thing, is do I know or don't I know if I have a wallet? If I don't know, then that entire conversation is authentic. If I do know that I'm missing my wallet, now it's a manipulation. And that's a really potentially fine line in a lot of conversations like that to have. And I feel like at the end of the day, I need to be willing to walk away from it or pay for it, because if I'm actually asking for something for free, what I'm really asking is, hey, can I put you in an awkward situation with your boss? And I don't know this person. That's just, I mean, if I want to have relationships with people and the relationships are what's valuable, putting that person in a situation like that is like, I don't know, I guess I'm always having the person in front of me matters. They're important. And they're gonna be in my life. If this person is here in front of me, they matter. And they're gonna have value. And that, I'm really curious about the doubling down though, Eugene. Like, I feel like I'm missing something about that conversation with how to do that with the story, because I've listened to you storytell before, and I feel like your version of storytelling is much more engaging than the way that I do it. And I feel like that's really an authentic way that you do that when you tell stories. And I don't, sorry, I'm going off on a bunny trail here.
Yeah,
Because
James, literally.
You do
this
that
is just
well.
some creative thought that came to my mind, like how can you enhance on your storytelling abilities? Because
Right.
you have tremendous amount of kind of knowledge that you want to impart. So how do you be more efficient at that? And storytelling is a tremendous tool to have in the arsenal. And these are just some of the things that came to mind when you particularly telling the stories. Like, okay, how could have James maybe had a more of an impact by telling this story? And that's what came to mind. Like, I'm not, by no means, I might not be even using this type of things, but for me, like, because I'm exploring this tools, like when you're saying you're pulling a blanket on yourself, and if you're overdoing it, it becomes overwhelming. But if you're switching I to, how, Jonathan, how it happens to be blah blah blah, so you kind of make it neutral and impartial at the same time. So perhaps, if you have a good balance between I and and it, that might create a bigger impact. And if you're having like active pauses and before the impactful moment or after the impactful moment in the stories, it creates a space for them to react, just like this accusation audit. So when you're giving a story, because it's a very visual thing, this random lady, she just broadside me like that. But you know what, Jonathan? It wasn't the worst of things. The worst part,
Yeah.
the guitar flew through the window 5 feet and smashed into the smithereens. I was crying over this thing. I didn't care about the car. Being a musician, Jonathan, you probably know how it feels to lose something that's really near and dear to your heart. Now, again, this is just something that's coming out to me right now. I'm not necessarily sure if it would be applicable to this situation. It just feels
When
like...
you say it, it sounds authentic. The way that you're telling that story, I feel like if I said that, I would be coming from a place of an attempt at manipulation, and it would come out inauthentic. But I noticed when I'm going to use when I tell stories or even jokes, that they come off poorly. And I think it's because I'm terrible at telling the story of whatever it is. So I'll hear something, I'll reshare it, and then it just doesn't land. And it has to do with like, I can't authentically do that.
If I can make a comment, what's interesting, that in my case, as the barista, when you are being yourself, the person like me, person on the other side of the table, is willing to let go of little mistakes like that. Yes, I did notice that I could have been better, but because he was being himself, I was willing to, okay, let's hear it. It's okay. Like a lot of things that he could improve, they weren't a big deal just because he was being himself. So being yourself, being authentic is very powerful, because the person that you're talking to is more willing to let go of your little mistakes, of your little things that I don't like or that could be better. I'm willing to like ignore them, because nobody's perfect. So I'm willing to ignore it and just continue the conversation. So it's a very...
He's like, what do you mean?
Huh?
It was perfect.
No, yeah, because some people have different opinions. If it should be a sad story, if it should be a happy story, everything, it wouldn't matter, because I felt that it was real. Even if it was like whatever it wouldn't matter, because it was real. So that was more important for me than what the story
values.
was. It could have been a story about a plane, and I wouldn't care, because it was real.
Authenticity is like it sounds like it's very high on your list of
It's everything
values
for me,
of connection. Got it.
Yeah, you see, sometimes finding those values is more important than executing your your tools and things like that. Yeah, it's fascinating. And if you can't get the values, then yeah, you might have to boss them. You know, as we've seen that happen, that still works as long as you just keep that tone and keep your cool. Try to connect. That's really it. Well, gentlemen and gentlemen, our time has concluded, and you'll probably feel separation anxiety for the next couple of
A
days.
question, what about this that was going to happen? It will not happen. This contest,
Oh yeah, yeah. I put that on my notes. I meant to talk about this. Jonathan, can you take the stage on that?
So what was the question?
Costa is asking about the negotiator competition today.
Oh,
when-
yes,
for when is it?
it's today, 3:30 Eastern time. 3:30 p.m.
What time?
Ask Ali on 3:30 p.m. Eastern time.
3:30.
Florida?
And
Yeah,
how
it's
can
3:30 in Florida.
how can we see it? Maybe I don't participate, of course, but how can I see it? I have
Sure,
not-
it's going to be recorded and shared on Slack.
it is
For
going to-
that to be shared on Slack.
Oh, also we could see in Slack. Yes.
Right
John-
after it has been recorded.
One more time, what is the time? Because I might have.
It happening in 5 hours?
No, it's happening. I have 12:30 p.m. So
3
it's
hours.
happening in 3 hours.
3 hours.
In
Oh,
3
oh,
hours
that's-
from now, and we can see it in Slack now when it happens.
I don't think you're gonna be able to see it live. I think you're going to be able to see the recording of it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So that's how. So I will not be able to see it. Okay. Okay, it's okay.
Sure, good question.
Yeah, thanks for
yeah, I won't
reminding
be
me.
able
If you want the recording, to
3
make sure you
o'clock.
got the recording, talk to Ali or Ali on Slack, and he's the one that is going to have the recording.
Okay.
So if anything, ask Ali
Mhm.
on Slack.
Okay.
All right, anybody got any other announcements?
I think James wants, I don't know if you heard James's label there at the end when he said to Jonathan, sounds like something is important to you, and Jonathan was like, yeah.
Authenticity. Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
good. We're always trying to practice. Sometimes it just goes under the radar because it's so smooth. Yeah, labels, as we say, when in doubt, label it out. Yeah, and I'm getting ready to do a lot of cold calls, so I'll be labeling like a madman.
You know, you could probably be a stunt double for Brandon Voss. I don't know if anybody's told you that.
No, he looks way different than me.
Well, I mean, as far as tonality.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. I've been working on it in Friends N9 class, N9 Mastery. Can somebody post that link for Monday? I highly recommend attending Friends N9.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah, that has been for me, the game changer from all those tools is the 4 ways of saying no. That a lot of times I say yes to too many things. Say yes to a lot of friend requests. Now I'm just getting better at saying no. And yeah, they always give you feedback on tone. I know Eli left, but he's been the current project for tonality, right? It's the yeah, but you have a great tone too, Joel.
Hey, thanks.
So probably looks like you're doing well for yourself, and the fact that you showed up here speaks volumes that you're out there to get more, improve out of relationships, not just money.
That's right.
Got it. That's right. We can end it with that. Unless anybody has any other announcements, stage is yours.
You guys are awesome. That's my announcement for today.
The link has been posted. Yeah, I do suggest that. It's been a lot of help there.
Thank you, gentlemen. It was a lot of fun, and I appreciate your feedback and willingness to kind of engage in these things and, you know, show up and turn up and make sure that we're all getting better each and every time.
Thanks, Eugene.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Bye,
fellas.
all. Goodbye, Kevin.